Good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of On the Table. I'm your host. My name is Chimweka, or simply Chimweka, aka Chile 3. Now, tomorrow's a holiday, so I know some people are still in the, feels like it's a bit of a Saturday because tomorrow, no work for a lot of people and they can stay back home. Because it's Farmers' Day, by the way, and others have been to the agriculture and commercial show. Others still plan on going. Whatever plans you have, we appreciate you staying tuned to Diamond TV. Now, my guest today is not known to the public for being a farmer, but he sure does plant some good vibes for the people out there. Who knows? Maybe he is a farmer. We'll find out on the show this afternoon. But you might have come across him playing at Granddaddy's just over the last weekend. He had Switcher's house at Granddaddy's. You may see him performing or playing at a private event, could be a birthday, a wedding. You can also see him performing at some of the biggest stages we have, both locally and internationally. And we're about to have a conversation about all this and much more. Here's what you can look out for on the show today. It's interesting Sutra is saying that because I think I gave you a first TV interview. If I remember,
Yeah, you did.
So it's interesting you say that.
It's interesting. It's interesting because remember, even when you gave me that interview, I trended for something.
Yeah.
Sunday, I went to Granddaddy's to actually collect my money, right? Yes, I'm trending. Everyone is talking about it and whatnot. Guess what I found? A DJ playing gospel music.
Yeah.
Okay, what about a Q Sam Dagi or a DJ Sly? Have you called these people? Don't you think they've got something interesting to talk about? Don't just call kiddies. Don't just call your maps. Yes, they've got the numbers, but give these people a chance.
With what you've seen, more reason why you need to stick around for On the Table this afternoon. Allow me to welcome my guest now, the one and only DJ Switcher. You don't know. Do you still use that?
I'll never stop using it, bro.
It's a trademark.
It is a trademark. It's funny how, like, even the crowd is now able to respond to that. Like they've memorized it.
Yeah.
So the moment I play it, they all go like, yeah, whatever, and then they'll be like, you're down now.
Where'd you get that from? Is it somebody who said it? Someone close to you said it? Where did that come from?
So it's a group of, it's a duo. It's a Haitian duo that hit me up on Instagram, saying they could possibly do an intro for me, based on what they've seen on my Instagram profile. And I sent them my email address, and they sent that.
But haven't you had this like for a very long time?
Yeah, so I think I've had it since 2019, because that's when I sort of rebranded, and I changed some things on my Instagram, and I think they came across my profile and they hit me up, and
Well, what is it that you changed about your Instagram?
like my username.
Oh, you just changed your username?
Yeah, I deleted some photos.
Oh, okay.
Like I wanted to give it a more professional look
Okay.
and feel, because those days I'll just post anything.
Yeah.
The person that actually made me change my Instagram is my little sister. She's based in SMAV. Shout out to you. She hit me up and she was like, bro, if you want to take up this DJ thing, you need to delete your old photos because they're throwing you under the rag, man. Like,
What was up with the old photos? How were you posing?
I was really tiny, and remember I had a corporate job, so
Yeah.
I'd be all suited up. But you are DJ Switcher,
Yeah.
and what are you doing dressed like a banker or like a house agent or whatever? You know what I mean? Because nishnifwaro tumachino shani kachek. So that's actually bad for branding.
Yeah.
If you've noticed, in most of my pictures, I wear neutral colors.
Yeah. Yeah.
You rarely see me put on a label like Adidas, or I love my t-shirts black. I love my jeans black, my shoes black, everything black, like all black.
Oh, black.
Yeah.
Your shades black.
Everything black, bro. Because black is a more neutral color.
Yes.
And the reason why I don't wear labels is because we kind of, obviously I'm not in a position to buy a very expensive original Gucci shirt or Gucci bag or Gucci anything, you know what I mean? So I feel like if you have to wear a label, it has to be super original, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
so it's changed for the family boss.
We'll get back. We'll get back to that. You've raised a very interesting point there. But tomorrow is Farmers Day. Who knows? Maybe Switcher is a farmer part time. Things they do in the background we never know about.
Well, I would love to be a farmer, right?
Really?
I've always had a passion for it, except I've just never been in a space where I could actually, not that we've got a family farm, of course,
Yeah.
but it's something that is underutilized because we are all busy doing other things, you know what I mean? But something that I would actually love to set on a farm, bro.
Really?
Yeah, yeah. I love
See
the
you
farm
being a
life.
farm person.
Well, there's more to Switcher that you don't know.
Really?
Yeah. I've actually lived at a farm before, but like eventually when I grow, because look, I'm in a space where I am a DJ, right? So I'm usually found where there's a lot of noise, bro.
So you
So
want the peace and
home is supposed to be very peaceful and quiet, and the farm gives you that because there's birds humming in the morning, like cows. I don't know, what do cows do? Do they cry? What do they do? Do they moo? Yeah. Like like there's just something close to nature is what you need for your mental health.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there's a reason why I live where I live now.
Yeah.
Because it's almost like farm.
Hey, you know what? I've been to Switcher's house. I went to pick something up, but Switcher's
Which
house.
Switcher's house, by the way?
Oh, I see what you did there. I see what you did there. I've been to his place where he lives, where he sleeps and stays.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's quite the distance. It's quite the distance.
It is, but it's so peaceful.
Yeah.
And quiet. And that's what I like.
You need that. Such your first time being on this show. I think I hosted you when we used to shoot the show on the other side, in the studio. And I remember when I called you, it was just after, I think there was a video where you were playing at Granddaddy's, you played a gospel song and you received some backlash. Have you done that again ever since?
No, bro. You know what I find interesting about trending? In most cases, it happens organically, right? And I'm not the type. Look, they say there's no such a thing as bad publicity, right? But for me, I hate being talked about in a negative way, right? Not that the feedback was negative at the time, but I just feel like actually most of the people that you think are influencers now, or those that have like bigger numbers on the socials and whatnot, on your Facebook, Instagram and whatnot, just whatever gave them a following happened accidentally at the time, right? And then they just took advantage of the situation and started making money off it.
Yeah.
Sort of monetizing it, right? So for me, when that happened, it happened organically, bro. I was scrolling through my playlist and came across this song, and I'm like, hey, this can be nice. Because I love the song, and I was like, you know what? Let me drop it. And everybody went apeshit. And then next day, I was trending. But then I was under so much pressure because I needed to do something like that again. Bro, you play a gospel song, and the next day, you're trending. And then you want to do something the next week because that thing is sort of addictive. Trending is addictive.
It is.
It is. That's why you find most of our sisters, they'll trend for one thing, right? Next thing, they want to take off their clothes because they want to trend. You know what I'm saying? It's addictive. The pressure of trending today and the follow-up, because trending happens organically, right? So the follow-up is the most difficult thing. I mean, that thing happened on a Saturday. Sunday, I went to Granddaddy's to actually collect my money, right? Yes, I'm trending. Everyone is talking about it and whatnot. Guess what I found? A DJ playing gospel music. So if
Which DJ was playing?
I can't mention name.
Because who do I know? I know Miss Sophie plays on Sundays.
She plays on Sundays, yeah, but it's not her.
Or Tweezy. Because I know Tweezy also plays.
I don't know. I'm just saying.
It must be Tweezy.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah.
He hasn't denied, so it shouldn't be. It should be Tweezy.
No, I said yeah because. Yeah. So you see, when you kind of sort of set a trend, yes, you said it has happened, right? So people will start doing what you've done, right? But so the pressure comes to you now. What are you gonna do next, right? That's why certain people end up getting depressed because it's a thing where you become addicted to this thing where people are talking about you all the time, and then you want to do something to like a follow up, right? You want to do something to trend again. Next thing, because the moment people stop talking about you, you feel like you're not that guy.
Not happening
Yeah.
anymore.
So I learned that quite early, and I just decided, you know what? Yes, I trended for this, but I'm not gonna do something stupid so I can trend again.
It's- so you don't regret playing gospel music at Granddaddy's?
No, I don't. I actually wanted to. I spoke to the guy that's hosting Maverick City.
Mainza.
Mainza, yes. I told him, let me do a gospel set. I want to do that. And also, my boy Tusa was trying to hook me up with, Exit. I think it's called Exit and Miracle Life.
Yeah.
He really wanted me to play to do a gospel set at church. It's not something that I would regret doing. Man.
You think the gospel community will be open to that? I mean, if they can give backlash for you playing it at Granddaddy's playing a gospel song. I mean, even just their very own gospel artists sometimes they give them a hard time when they feature a secular artist. So now a secular artist come into their space. You think they'll be open to that?
Here's the honest truth, bro. The people that you see at church are the same people that at the Groove on Friday and Saturday. I've seen our sisters. The last time I went to church, I saw our sisters in front of the pulpit singing. You know what I'm saying? But you are barbering on Saturday in a bum short, but on Sunday you're in a long dress singing. I feel like, look, like I said, the same people that you see at church are the same people that you see at the Groove. So they will be down to that. And it's something different.
I remember when I just also hosted you, and the first time we spoke, Switcher was like, you almost come across like this shy guy, humble guy. But I mean, you've done a lot in the last couple of years, and obviously this has given you a lot of confidence over time, hasn't it?
Yeah, a lot, bro. A lot of confidence and exposure as well. And you know what they say about exposure, right? That it limits unnecessary excitement. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, hey,
Love that saying.
yeah, because the thing is with what I've seen in my life so far, right? I'm so blessed to be on certain lineups. I've kind of traveled and seen the world, and a lot of people expect me to change. So you come back home and people think you're going to be pompous, or it actually humbles me more because you realize when you go out, you realize that you're not big. You're only big in your country, bro. You're at the airport and nobody is stopping you to ask you for pictures or mentioning your name. The moment you land in Zambia, switch good to see you, that type of vibe. Yeah, so it actually just humbles me more. That's why I can never change for anything.
With that, how far do you think we are with attaining international recognition, especially for Zambian DJs? I mean, if we look at in other countries of artists who like Shimza, you have Black Coffee, who are performing on these global stages. Where do you think we're at? Because we say this a lot for artists, musicians especially. Oh, okay, international artists, international. But where do you think we're at with DJs?
With DJs, I think we're heading somewhere, bro. I actually love what my peers are doing. Speaking of people like El Mukuka, Creative Natives, Sebastian Dutch, do you know that the only thing stopping us is just one of us has to make a hit song.
So you have to produce music.
You can't be a DJ and not produce, bro. I mean, how many DJs do we have in the world? How many people can do what I can do? There's a lot of DJs that are even way, way, way better than me. and they're still underground because they don't have that one hit song. People like Creative Natives, you know Creative
Yes,
Natives,
yes,
right?
yes.
Blokes and
Yeah.
yeah. So, do you know that David Guetta plays their music?
Yes, I think I've seen something like that. I think they've shared. Yeah.
Yes, Sebastian Dutch's music is playing by the likes of David Guetta. What's his name again? Black Coffee on global stages, bro. It's the only way. It's the only way you can go viral. Like what happened to that Nigerian girl? What's her name again? The one that mixed "Love Is Wicked" with
Oh my goodness, the name is gone. But I know the girl you're talking about.
the
The one who looks like tomboyish.
yes, yes,
I
yes,
know
yes,
what you're
yes.
talking about.
So you are lucky to trend like that, but what's the follow up after that? You get me? What's the follow up after that? Are you gonna do something like that again so you can trend? And also, when you trend, it doesn't also guarantee bookings. You know what I'm
Yes,
saying?
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
it
It's a
doesn't
good different
guarantee
thing.
bookings. But yeah, like I said, I'm so happy for El, man. He's been traveling the world, um, doing his thing. He's been dropping records. I'm happy for people like Creative Natives, and this guy. What's his name? Sebastian Dutch
Sebastian
as well.
Dutch.
Yeah. So these three guys are really, really, really doing the most. And also VGZ as well, man. He's really. I feel like the country or Zambia should actually give him a chance because
Give him a chance.
give no what I mean what I mean by that is that yes he's popular, he's known, right?
Yeah.
But with the catalog that he has created so far, I feel like he is not really appreciated enough. Most DJs should actually be in studio, and it takes a lot to get a Shefi or a Yo Maps on a record, but he manages to do that. So he deserves some kind of juice just for doing that. He needs that recognition. The same way we have the likes of DJ Neptunes, DJ Exclusive,
Yes, yes.
and all these other
Yeah.
big DJs that have records.
Yes,
I
yes.
feel like he also needs that spot, but on a global scale because it's not easy to put people together like that.
And it's something else I want to talk about because in fact, let's address it. I don't know much more time I have before we get into the break. But do you think genres also matter? Because if you talk about creative natives, Sebastian Dutch, even when they make because a lot of them, what especially creative natives, they do a lot of maybe a song will be out, they'll make their maybe like house remix and so on. But if you notice, it's house, I'm a piano kind of, and that's similar to what Sebastian Dutch primarily plays. Whereas VGZ for him, it's more of like the like Afro beat, Zambian. Do you think that's maybe why it's like that people appreciate more of house and I'm a piano than they do any other genre?
So what VGs is doing now, right, is what 20 other DJs are doing in Nigeria, right? It's because of the nature of the music that he produces. I feel like if he was producing house, he would have. Here's one thing about house music. It has a niche crowd that appreciates the sound, right? So you actually stand a better chance of breaking out if you're producing house than Afrobeat. I don't know if I'm making sense.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I'll give an example of a guy called Kasango. Kasango is a guy that made the instrumental for the song called Osama. Oh, that song changed that guy's life in a second, bro. It changed his life in a second, and it's a house music song. It's actually called Afrotech. So house is the way, bro.
And I've noticed you've also said narrowing it down because I was at your event, Switcher's House. I've noticed that's, I think on like events like that, you narrow it down to that kind of vibe. So it's deliberate that you're also doing that.
It is, bro. That's what actually birthed Switches House to some extent because I realized one thing, bro. traveling kind of sort of opened up my mind, right? So usually when you travel, the people you meet that side will take you to African clubs, right? But when I started exploring more and seeing what happens in the house community, bro, my spirit and everything just changed. And now I really want to play house music more. You know, I really want to play house music more because that's what is broadly accepted on the world market. Look, any DJ can play, right? Any DJ can play, but what will actually make a DJ from Zambia get a booking in Nigeria, where Afrobeats is big? What makes you that DJ? What makes you special? But with house, you actually stand a better chance of penetrating the house music scene if you actually produce a dope track and if you're a dope DJ and if you're putting out better content out there. So yeah, house is the way, bro.
We're hanging out with DJ Switcher. He's my guest today on the Table. We'll take a break, but after the break, there's two more we'll talk about with him, and here's what you can look out for.
I moved to Lusaka and I'm playing. Obviously, I'm playing good music, right? But I would see DJs just walk in like there's nobody standing here by the booth. So he showed me around, introduced me to the people. I already knew some of them, but he was like formally introducing me. And in the process, he was like, this is the next big guy. I went to a couple of places and people were just like, oh, yo, who's Switcher? Oh, Your Maps is DJ. Your Maps is one big brand and Switcher is another big brand. So there was that kind of conflict.
Welcome back. You're still watching On the Table. My guest right now is the one and only DJ Switcher, who's seemingly settled very well in Lusaka, coming through from the Copperbelt. I love how Copperbelt people they'll start off heading to Lusaka, and it's God who make a way, and God eventually gets to make a way. What are some of like the I mean, it's still Zambia, but what would you say are some of like the cultural shifts you notice when you move from the Copperbelt and now settled here in Lusaka?
It's just how calm Lusaka people are, bro. We are super aggressive.
Say it the right way. You guys like fighting. That's what you gotta say.
Well, that's one other thing, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like so when I came to Lusaka, I learned a couple of things, right? Like, I was introduced to what they call lifestyle branding, and that's uncommon on the Copperbelt. Yeah, you know this thing where guys, I just woke up, you take a camera picture. I'm eating sushi, you take a camera picture.
Yeah.
Of course, I don't usually do that. I don't post what I'm eating, what I'm drinking, because what are you saying about others?
What do you mean?
This lifestyle branding thing is a tricky thing, right? So it's two ways. When I'll post a picture of myself in Dubai. I feel like that's okay.
Why? What are you saying about those who are still in Zambia?
No. I'm not saying anything about those that are still in Zambia, right? Yeah. I'm just saying, okay, I'm this DJ and I'm in Dubai now because I'm about to start playing, or I'm here to play. I'm here for work. So that's a better way of branding yourself. That's my take on that. But if I'm posting food, bro, if you go to a restaurant and you post yourself eating T-bone, what are you saying about your daily life, bro? You get my point, bro. Like, it's like you going
I
to
get it.
like it's like you going to a new town. I might do it, I might not do it, but I'm just giving you context, right? You go to a new town, then you open you take out your phone, then you open the door and you're showing people your room, the white beddings and whatnot. What are you saying about your shits at home? Because what you're posting, it should be something that excites you, right? It should be like a new experience. So if I've never tasted sushi in my life, maybe I'll say, let me record this because, hey, first time, let me see.
But
The reaction.
you've traveled enough times. You still post about some places you've traveled to before, and you still post about them when you go back.
It's different because I'm telling a story of what I'm doing or what I'm about to do. So, for example, I'm playing at Altitude Beach in SA, right? I'll post that I'm at altitude, and the caption will be about to kill a set, not about to eat sushi. Ah, wetaudia sana sushi kumwenu.
Anyway, so back to Lusaka Copperbelt. So you learned more of lifestyle branding,
Lifestyle branding, yeah.
and you had to like adjust some of those things. But even when you arrived here, what are some of the people who helped you settle down in Lusaka?
Honestly, it's VGZ, bro.
Really?
Yeah, VGZ. I think VGZ was like one of the first people that really welcomed me and showed me around. I'm not ashamed to say this because he's been part of my journey and somehow my growth because he would put me in line, align me, and whatnot. So when I came to Lusaka, I think that was January of 2019, right? And I bagged myself that granddaddy's residency and whatnot. So I noticed something, the difference between Copperbelt entertainers and Lusaka entertainers, right? On the Copperbelt, it's a code, bro. It's a code. When a DJ is playing, I'll give an example of the biggest joint at the time was Keg. So when a DJ is playing at Keg, you see all these guys, your Y Celeb, all the Copperbelt DJs, 408 Empire, they walk in. The first thing they'll do before they even settle down is to say what's up to the DJ and then move. So I moved to Lusaka and I'm playing. Obviously, I'm playing good music, right? But I'd see DJs just walk in like there's nobody standing here by the booth. You know? So I kept on wondering, like, ishi kuno ama guys taba posha nangu yawa poshan, you know? And then one day, I think Granddaddy's had VGZ for the first time. So he came on a Friday. You know he's big and
Yeah.
sort of intimate.
Was he pulling
his suitcase?
suitcase?
Yeah, so he came through and was like, hey, Bamze, namushwati Myron Desa Mkurisha. And I'm like, hey, okay. And you know, VG's is like, because on me coming from the Copperbelt and watching from afar, you're like, hey, this is the big DJ.
Yeah.
It's coming to play here tomorrow. Anyway, okay, sharp. So went back home that night, Saturday. He was meant to start at 7, and I opened for him. So I started at 5 to 7. I did a 2-hour, 3-hour set. And it was all hip hop. I started with something mellow into, something sweet. But it was like hip hop. So when he walked in, I think he walked in like 30 minutes before. He was going around greeting his people and whatnot. So he heard my set. And he was like, the first thing he said before he started setting up, and he was like, my guy, switcher, right? And I'm like, yeah. He's like, are you ready for the world? I'm like, what do you mean? And he was like, are you ready for the world? Because, my guy, me, I'm about to retire, but you are going to take over this. You are taking over. I swear you are taking over. Because what I've heard, you've reminded me of myself when I was starting out, and I was like, hey, okay, sharp. So he was like, and you know what? You and I are hanging out tonight, so please don't go. Then from there, we went to Sky Bar, then went to Capone's and whatever, Fox and Hound as well. So he showed me around, introduced me to the people. I already knew some of them, but he was like formally introducing me. And in the process, he was like, this is the next big guy. He's the next big guy. This is the next big guy. Wherever we went that night. And then also apart from that, even just this thing where like he would make referrals. If he can't make it, you say, the only person who would deliver is Switcher. You know what I'm saying? So VGZ made me feel at home. They let Nano as well.
Oh yeah, King Nano.
Yeah. King Nano as well. He's like one of the people that would actually sort of mentor me in some way because he'll be like, hey, my guy, this style maybe you can't play at this time. This works at this time. You know what I'm saying? And then also he was just giving me caution about how to move in the game, about not about how you shouldn't be making unnecessary announcements. Like you need to be sure. For example, you have a gig lined up for, let me say, Dubai, right? Like, don't make premature announcements. Make sure everything is sorted. Make sure you have a flight ticket. You have everything. I'm just giving you context. You'd make sure you confirm something. That's when you go. But don't go around telling people your next move. Yeah, like don't go around. That's the biggest thing I learned from Nano, bro.
And VG's is not from the Copperbelt, huh?
His parents are based on the Copperbelt.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I think he spent part of his life that side, but mostly in Lusaka.
The reason why
Tanzania as well.
the reason why I say that is, I mean, when we're talking about Coppola people and being aggressive, I mean, that's one thing people know Coppola people for.
Yeah.
I always joke with people that I think the closest thing we have in Zambia to a Nigerian culture is Coppola.
True say.
You know what I mean? Because if you go all across the world, if you meet how Nigerians interact and support each other and lift each other, it's similar to what Coppola people do when they're in Lusaka.
That's so true.
But you know, yesterday, funny enough, at an event yesterday, and someone made me think about it, saying, she was agreeing, saying the same thing. She also just came from the Copperbelt, and she was like, you know, I just came here for a bit. I was planning on going back, but one of my old friends from Coppola, who is here, was telling me to stay. And I'm like, we support each other here, but it's so ironic how we don't do the same. It's not the same back home. I don't know how true that is.
It's actually very true, bro. Do you know who got me the Granddaddy's deal? K Plus.
K Plus, yeah, I remember you told me.
Yeah, where's he from? Kitwe.
Coppola, yeah.
There's a lot of people, bro.
It's a whole chain.
It's a whole chain, and it's a thing where, I feel like it happens more organically, because it's such a thing where you're like, there's an opportunity there, fix him. You know what I'm saying? It's not the same with Lusaka people, because I think you guys are more egocentric.
What do you mean, you guys? Who told you I'm from Lusaka?
You are from Lusaka, Chile. Where are you from?
Yes, I am. But I mean,
Yeah. For you guys, I think you love to compete, bro.
but again, here's what this girl was telling me. She was telling me it's like this when Coppola people meet in Lusaka. But is it the same when Coppola people are in Coppola?
Yeah, to some extent. To some extent, it is. Though I think when you are on the Copperbelt, like I'll give an example of myself. People need to believe in you more, so you need to put yourself out there. That's why we are so aggressive, because it's like, because the Copperbelt is quite small. So I'll give an example. The reason why I wasn't as popular on the Copperbelt, even if I was DJing, is because you only have 3 clubs, bro, where you can possibly play, right? But there's like 68 DJs. We are all fighting for the same spot. So that same spirit, and when you come to Lusaka where there's like 15 options, my guy, what will stop you from taking over?
If there's 68 DJs there, aren't there 200 in Lusaka?
Yeah, but the aggression is different. The approach is different. Because when you're from the Copperbelt and you come to Lusaka, which is a big city, you sort of see certain things coming true. Because you're like, so if I want a deal from Trade Kings, I can just walk to Trade Kings. You know what I'm saying? If I need a Diamond TV interview, at least Chimweka is close. I can bump into him at Granddaddy's and approach him, right? It's not the same. It's like, because it's like, bro, it's like growing up in a house where you have everything. You won't feel compelled to go out there to look for things because you already have. But when you come from the Copperbelt, you are looking for that opportunity to be seen on TV. You're looking for that opportunity to play at the biggest stage. One reason is because you want to make people back home feel as if you've sort of made it.
Yeah, things are moving for you.
That things are moving for you, of which, in any case, they are moving, right? But you work so hard so that, because you want to make your parents proud. You know, that type of vibe. So I think that's the reason.
Speaking of that, are your parents proud and comfortable with this route you've taken?
Funny thing is, my dad especially, right? the he used to preach in a Catholic church. You know, like to sit in when the priest is not around. So dad would actually sit in and preach.
Really?
So it was so hard for me to actually tell him that this is the route I'm trying to take. And then in my family, I think I'm the odd one out, bro. Like I'm the one that just went left. Because everyone is like we grew up in a Catholic home, but I think when I went to high school, everything about me changed. My perception about the church, religion, and just my life in general. Right? I followed what I wanted, not what society was expecting from me, because I'm like a Ray preacher's son. You know what I'm saying?
How do they feel about this?
Right now, they are the most proud. Do you know why? Because I sent the check. I can't remember the last time my dad, because I lost my mom in 2019. But I can't remember the last time dad called me by my government name. He calls me Switcher. A Switcher tomato milk or something. You know? Like he's so proud, bro. And every time he sees something, like when I won that award, he called me. That was the first time dad told me he loves me, bro. That was the first time dad told me he's proud of me. Because we were not raised like that. You know what I'm saying? Copperbelt yard bafati need afya go bati ngapusha grade 12 koranda ta kabiye kabombe ku mine 130 ka poke city courses kukitu or something. What I'm trying to say is that you grow up to fend for yourself. Moment you finish your grade 12, it's like your parents will say, "Hey, I'm done with you now. Go and fend for yourself."
So what paths have your siblings taken? Are they like church people or like corporate people? Or like what paths? Have they
most of them are church people.
taken? Okay.
Yeah, and then corporate here and there. Like they're totally different from me, bro. You'd be shocked to see my sister here.
She's like she's deep. Is she a nun or something?
No.
'Cause that's what I'm thinking. Like Catholic church, deep in church, it's either they're priests or they are nuns or they are
My brother,
treasurer at the church.
no, well, not really that deep, but in the family at least, my brother went for priesthood. Yeah, at least we had someone who actually aspired to do it, right? Until he fell out. That's a story for another day. But everyone just like that, just so into this church thing.
At what point did you know that you've gone mainstream?
By mainstream, you mean
Like where you feel like okay now
I'm getting there.
Now people have accepted the DJ Switcher brand.
When brands like Jameson started approaching. So I'm this kid from the Copperbelt who's killing it at Granddaddy's, right? And then brands started noticing me now. The first brand that actually approached was Shiva's. Then they're all under the Pernod Ricard umbrella, right? So Shiva's. But then the first time I actually played at the Jameson Connect was when I realized, okay, this thing, I'm heading somewhere with this thing. For Jameson to approach means they've seen something. And then I moved from Jameson to
What year was that when you
2019.
2019? Also
Bro,
2019, so-
everything. I feel like 2019 was the best
breakthrough
year.
year.
It was the best year of my life, bro, because that's when that's when I truly discovered my purpose. And that purpose was through what I really love to do, bro. The music. So 2019, a lot of things changed. And every year I kind of changed something about myself, right? It's a thing where if in 2019 I didn't know how to say like, okay, there's virtual DJ, right? So in 2019 I was a virtual DJ. 2020 I was like Sat. Serato is more professional, so I moved to Serato. Oh, now I need to learn how to mix with CDJs.
Yeah.
It kept on going like that. Yeah,
And you kept on learning along the way.
exactly.
And speaking of DJs, I mean, there was a point you became like the official DJ for your maps. How did that come about?
It was through Uncle Chap. So remember when I said me and your map sort of aligned because we sort of chasing for the same thing. So when Uncle Chubbs, you know Uncle Chubbs,
Chubb.
when he linked me up with Maps, and we sort of shared the same vision, because it's like, bro, how come there isn't that one guy that is like super international and comes from Zambia? How come we don't have a Fireboy or a Burner Boy from Zambia? So me and him had this discussion, and we were like, my guy, we are the chosen ones. Flowers do not pick themselves. You know what I'm saying? Like, we are the chosen ones. We are the ones that are going to change the narrative. We are going to flip this game, and we're going to take over. That's how we formed that movement. I think that was in 2022. Yeah. So in that same week when we linked up and we were like, bro, we need to start working now. And we flew to Malawi together. That was the genesis of the movement.
So meaning you had to cater for your own costs and stuff, or how did that work?
We teamed up. We approached a couple of people that helped us out with the tickets and whatnot. Shout out Oscar Oskido, man. He did that. Try Zambia as well. Yeah.
And then you and then came back and you guys were touring together, moving together.
Yeah, we were touring together, moving together. But then at some point, I just felt like my brand was slowly beginning to get swallowed up in his, because I didn't know how to strike a balance between being DJ Switcher, who was already a brand before teaming up with Maps, right? It was so hard for me to some extent to actually separate DJ Switcher as a brand on his own, and DJ Switcher, your Maps is DJ. You know what I'm saying? Because everything that happened in that year, 2022, we filled up a stadium together. I went to a couple of places and people were just like, who's Switcher? Oh, your Maps is DJ. But your Maps is one big brand and Switcher is another big brand. So there was that kind of conflict within myself. That's why I tried to kind of not separate myself, but focus more on my brand as DJ Switcher.
And obviously, again, you know how it's been when people see you affiliate yourself like that. Some want to, distance themselves because of that. It's almost like you inherit his enemies as well. And what I'm trying to get to with this is, even when Chile One was coming in, I think a lot of people thought you were against Chile One, and it became worse when we did that end of year.
End of year, that was the movie, bro.
People thought you were against Chile One. What was that about?
I wasn't. I mean, I've got love for the boy, bro. Like, I don't hate anyone. I'm not that person. You know what I'm saying? But I feel like I must also be allowed to express myself, my opinion, without associating me or affiliating me to a certain brand. You know what I'm saying? So I was just giving my honest opinion, and I still stand by it, bro. Hey, but
what did you say again that the people got irritated?
The sympathy thing, and I feel like it works, bro. Sadly in Zambia, bro, this thing works. When you play a sympathy card, people will be more drawn to you because they want something that they can emotionally relate to. That's why I'll give an example. There's a reason why Your Maps is where he is now. It's because his music resonates with a lot of Zambians. But also on the other side, I hate the Zambian definition of being humble. Right? I feel like the game doesn't really give a chance to a person who comes from a rich family, for example. Right now, if HH's son decided to become a DJ and he works so hard to be that big DJ, right? They'll say, it's privilege. He's privileged because his father is the president. It's like when you come from a rich background, right? Then you are not hardworking. Let me give a typical example. There's a reason, apart from maybe the language barrier, I'll give an example of a person like King Iles, right? And maybe your Mike Burner and whatnot. They are talented. But there are certain people that feel like they can't support them because in the music video they are rocking chinchillas, they're posting. I mean, they are with bottles of Hennessy with a cheetah and. Oh, Mike Brain. Oh no, the music video was shot in Namibia. Zambians don't like that, and I hate that about Zambians. They want poor background, vutika kwa kanyama, then inachoka kushana. They want to associate themselves to that more than give a chance to somebody who's also talented.
But what if that's what's relatable to majority of people? People want something they can relate with. They don't want things that they will detach themselves from. But that's just life.
But does
everywhere you go.
does that make other people less talented, or because I feel like it makes them less accepted? Accept those people too, bro.
So maybe it's the artists who just need to be relatable.
No, but we all can't be singing about Nachoka Mavuto the Nachitachan.
I mean, you can talk about different. You can talk about love and stuff, and just be relatable.
Everyone is talking about love, bro. You see what makes you see what makes Maps different. He'll talk about blessings. He'll talk about how he moved from rags to whatever.
But he'll still come back and talk about love.
Well, yeah, but
or a heartbreak or something.
But 80% of his catalog is talking about. He's usually talking about things that actually touch people.
Well, that people what relate to.
What people relate to.
What he thinks about is what people relate to.
My guy, listen. What about those people that can relate to a bottle of Hennessy or?
That's the thing. There are fewer. That's why those artists are not will not be widely accepted because only fewer people relate to them. You find that majority of the people relate to something completely different. It's not someone. It might not be someone moving with a cheat and drinking Hennessy with the chinchillas.
So does that mean you must not support them?
But how are you going to support something you personally cannot relate to? Like you won't vibe with it.
But
like
how
music,
come
you listen to music that you personally like, and if you don't like it, no matter how good it is, no matter how good rock music is, for example, if you a switcher don't like rock music, no matter how nice it sounds, you just won't like it.
But do you also realize that the reason they are not doing that is because those guys are Zambian? They'll support a Bow Wow or a 50 Cent.
Also because they're able to maybe see and hear how this person rose.
What do you mean?
Rose, because if they reach a point where they're talking about this in their music and
it's rare,
because,
bro.
But even with them, you're going to hear an artist from Atlanta talk about yo mama in the ghetto doing this, and eventually when they become big stars, it makes sense. You see the gradual. You can see the difference. You can see the difference. So maybe it's just an issue of relatability. You don't see it that way?
Well, to some extent, you may be right. Right? It's the issue of relatability, but whether you relate or not, because you are Zambian, Zambians should support you. That's what Nigerians do.
Yeah, and that's the thing, because again, it's Zambia. Maybe that's why they might relate to the guy from the US, because they'll believe it's true, but here they are a fellow Zambian, so they'll be like,
that's not cool, though. That's not cool. Let's just support everyone.
We've digressed. What else do you have planned for the rest of this year? Because I know you have. Also, let me find this out from you, because we spoke about Gucci T-shirts and so on, and I said I'll come back to that. With all the flying you're doing and all this, are you making a lot of money as DJ Switcher?
Well, not as much as I'm supposed to. That's the honest truth. But every time I travel, bro, the check is good. As compared to what I make when I'm here. So that's why I want to play more outside, because the cake is bigger.
Okay. And what else do you have planned for the rest of this year?
For the rest of the year, it's just, I really want to concentrate on growing the Switchers House brand. So that's what I wake up to nearly every day, right? To push, get sponsors on board and whatnot. And then also just basically personal growth, bro, because 2024 started different. I want it to end different as well. So I can make my 2025 even better. So I've got a couple of things lined up, but remember, Nano told me not to make premature announcements. Yeah.
You jinx things. No, I think jinxing things is real. It's
Yeah.
very, very possible. Like, even if you've confirmed the flight, sometimes you can jinx things where you just say, okay, no, the thing has been cancelled.
Yeah.
Possible, eh?
Exactly.
But
But there's a lot coming, bro.
Yeah. But is an album a part of the plans.
That's actually part of the plan. I'm actually supposed to meet Uncle Ballard Zulu because I heard he owns a catalog of some of the oldest Zambian songs, because I'm doing two things, right?
And it's funny, I was just talking to him this morning.
Oh yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah. So anyway, I should have a meeting with him at the Kazadi office. So I'm remixing those old Kalindola songs into house. So I've done 4 so far.
Wow.
Yeah, so that's what people should expect from. It's actually not an album; it's an EP, because it's like 7 tracks.
Nice. Looking forward to it. DJ Switcher, I know there's a lot we can talk about, but we'll leave it here. Thank you so much for coming through.
Thank you for having me, Chimweka. I've been knocking on your doors for a minute, bro.
Hey. We are out here to open the door.
I thought you guys, you what do you call yourself? Are you a podcaster, or are you?
I was having this chat with K Plus. I'm like, what's a podcast?
Hey,
Like,
people.
Does it become a podcast after I put this? Because I've been doing the show for
For a while now.
wow, and then just never had these microphones. But now that we added these, people like, oh, okay, the podcast. I'm like, okay, if you want to call it that, it's fine. I don't have a problem if you want to call it that. I don't mind, but I'm just like, does it become a podcast because of this mic? Because we've been having this conversation.
Yeah. For a while now, but I thought the reason why I wasn't being called to this platform is because you guys, you podcasters, you K Plus, and I'll call you out. You K Plus, Helen, Edna. I feel like you guys want to thrive more on controversy, bro, and that's not a good thing. You know what I'm saying? You bring someone who is trending on your show to make your show bigger, which is not a problem. But I also just feel like you need to open more doors to people that are also trying to get out there. I called out Edna when we went to the UK. When she started, because I've been knocking on her doors, right? But the moment she hears, oh, no, these guys went to the UK and the sound was ish and they performed in a classroom. She's like, hey, I want to have you on my platform. No, bro. What about the time when I want to promote my show, or when I want the world to know about me? When are you going to call me so we can talk about my personal growth or my journey?
It's interesting Sutra is saying that, because I think I gave you a first TV interview. If I'm not
Yeah, you did.
So it's interesting you say that.
It's interesting. It's interesting because remember, even when you gave me that interview, I trended for something.
Yeah.
I played that gospel song.
Yeah.
So you had something to talk about.
Yes.
But give a person like a Naya B a chance to actually come and talk about it.
Actually called Naya B.
Did you?
Yes.
Okay.
You can ask her.
Okay, what about a Q Sam Dagi or a DJ Sly? Have you called these people? Don't you think they've got something interesting to talk about?
I think maybe the others have just really never met them like that. But Naya B, yeah, I've played alongside Naya B.
Make it deliberate to call these people, my guy. Don't just call Muzukanji, because don't just call Kiddies. Don't just call your maps. Yes, they've got the numbers, but give these people a chance. You know what I'm saying?
What a way to end the interview. What a way to end this interview.
I spoke representing
you.
y'all.
Anyway, it's Farmers' Day tomorrow. I'll go to the farm and think about it. Thanks for coming through, DJ Switcher.
Reflect. Thank you for having me, bro. Appreciate it, bro.
Back again next week, Sunday at 17 hours. Peace out.